Boom! Sup, guys? Watch! No, I'm kidding. We're not doing watch. We're doing a little interview here with my friend Ethan. He's from barsandbattles.com, and he's from the RYD Network. That's Geechee Gotti's home league. He's a journalist, and he's going to do a little interview with me today. So it's for his channel, and I said, why doesn't he just come down and do it live on Ruin Your Day? Can have the footage afterwards, chop it up how he likes, and yeah, we can hang out on the roof and smoke a cigar. So that's that. So yeah, Ethan, tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Ethan here from barsandbattles.com, RYD Network, Plug Talk Radio. I just want to say thanks to Avocado for having me on here. Interviewing you and being on Ruin Your Day is, that's knocking out something huge on my bucket list right there. So yeah. I really appreciate you having me out here, man. Absolutely.
Awesome, man.
So if you want, man, we can get right into it.
I'm down. So, yeah, so essentially, do you want to give a little bit of background about the RYD Network, just for the people that don't know?
Yeah, sure. So the RYD Network, that's Geechee Gotti's home league. You got guys from there like Ron Compton, Coffee Brown, people like that, people you've had on watch already. Like I said, Coffee and Ron.
I thought Ron owned the RYD.
He owns it. He's a part of it. He's like one of the first dudes who started battling on the RYD. He also actually owns it, co-runs it with Kevin Parks. Shouts to Kevin Parks.
Word.
So yeah, people like that. Just a grassroots league, kind of up there with one of the better grassroots leagues. Like I said, we've produced some dope PGs over the years. Guys like K Philosophy, guys like 6500, different dudes. Despot, bunch of different guys. It's a great homegrown league. So with a lot of
is from there too.
I believe so. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
He's battled there a lot, actually. Yeah.
Wasn't fucking Daylight versus Ron on there? We just watched that.
That was West Coast Elites.
Okay.
Another good league. Shouts to them.
Them crossed over.
Good
but yeah, there's hella leagues out here in LA, and they're all good too. So it's hard to keep track of which one's which. But yeah, man, that's fucking tight. Shout out the RYD Network. Definitely shout out Ron Compton. I love that guy. He's a fucking awesome dude.
Yeah, we got 2 events we got coming up. We got Magnitude coming up. That's where we have 50 battle rappers from all over the West Coast coming through. 5 on each team. There's 10 teams. Crazy event we got coming up. That's September 15th. And also we've got the Riot Way, King of the Riot coming up. Geechee Gotti's going to be battling on that, and his opponent is crazy. You guys have been asking for this one for a long time, and it's going to happen. But you'll see. We'll be having more announcements on both those.
It's Tiger Tie. Geechee versus Tiger Tie. That'll be kind of fire, actually.
Who knows, man? But I can't say anything right now. Avocado ruined the surprise. Thank you.
That's tight, though.
But we'll see. Yeah, you guys will have some more announcements soon. It's going to be a great battle.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. But yeah, man, let's get into this. What do you want to know?
Well, let's start out with, tell me where you're from. That kind of thing.
Okay, so originally I'm from Denver, Colorado. Well, it's a small suburb of Denver. It's Castle Rock, so it's like 30 minutes south of Denver. I say Denver just because it's easier fucking to tell people I'm from Denver instead of like, yeah, Castle Rock. People are like, where the fuck's that? I'm like, yeah. So grew up there. I grew up skateboarding there. That's where I kind of like discovered hip hop at a very young age. Discovered battling at a very young age too. I think my first battle that I saw was RZA versus Moon. At that time, it was called Mooney D. Moon is battling now in URL. I still have yet to actually tell him he's the reason why I'm involved in battle rap. But he battled RZA on a BET battle in 1998, and that's the first battle I ever saw. And I was like, wow, this is cool. Like, they're like battling, it's like competitive. RZA's here, and I was a fan of Wu-Tang at the time, so that like got me in tune with it. And yeah, grew up in Denver, went to high school there, was into film at a very early age too. As soon as I could like walk, I was picking up cameras and filming shit. I started in LLC when I was 16 doing skateboard videos. So I produced skateboard videos and sold them throughout like Denver, Albuquerque, Phoenix, Las Vegas, like the 4, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, like those 4 states. And then that brought me out to San Francisco, California, where I went to film school. I went to the Academy of Art University out there, and yeah, so that's what brought me out to Cali. And then I moved to LA, I think 7 or 8 years ago. So I've lived in California right now for 15 years. So I'm 33, that's my age.
So you said that you started out doing skateboard videos, like you said. How did you get into like audio visual work, that kind of thing?
So, man, like honestly, like I'm like the type of person that like whenever I like something, I always kind of want to make it better. Like I love skateboarding. I still love it to this day, even though I don't do it. I still watch skate videos religiously, and I'm like I want to be super involved with skateboarding. I want to do like a watch series actually of us watching skate videos. And yeah, man, it's like I just was like, I wasn't like great at skateboarding. I wasn't like the most athletic skateboarder. Plus, I've like always been kind of like bigger and like to skateboard really good, you need to be kind of skinnier and smaller. So when you hit the ground, it doesn't hurt as bad. And I was like, okay, well, I can hold a camera, and I just started filming my friends and shit, and it just got more serious where I saved up for a VX1000, and a VX1000 is like the industry standard of what skateboard videos use at the time, like way back in the day. It's mini DV, 3 CCDs, and they use what's called the death lens. It's like this super distorted fisheye. So I got that at like 15, saved up for it, bought that. Ever since then, I just like took off. Like we fucking made our first skate video at 16, started that LLC, sold it, premiered it at the Bluebird in downtown Denver, and after that I was just like hooked at making videos and shit. Kind of stopped after like I went to college and like I started like to get into the actual film industry, and I was an actual editor. I like kind of slowed down on making my own content because I was like so concentrated on getting a job in the industry. And I got a job at a really young age too. I was an editor by the time I was 21, and then I was like doing VFX by the time I was 22, working on these high-end suites called Flame Suites. And yeah, I kind of got away from it until like I fucking started seeing, you know, my love for battle rap started coming into play a little bit more and more. I actually filmed a battle when I first moved to San Francisco in 2003. It's online. Not my angle isn't online, but the battle's online. Is that battle? I think it's called Battle at Daly City or something like that, where No Can Do battles XI in the finals and XI wins, or No Can Do wins. And Franco battles Peanut in it. There's a bunch of other crazy battles. Awkward's there. I remember seeing all those fools, and I recognized all of them from like the message boards from mcbattles.com. Like Passwords was there. Pass is gonna hate that I'm telling the story, but he had like a fucking like personalized graffiti airbrushed hat that said Passwords with the Z on it, and I was like, wow, these guys are a trip. But yeah, I mean, like, then it just kind of spun into me like seeing these battle videos online, and since I was like working in the industry and not trying to sound egotistical, but I like knew what I was doing, I saw these videos and I'm like, these don't look very good, you know, they don't look good at all. So I like Philip Drummond, who's a local producer in the Bay Area, had a series called 16 Bars. It was like a competition. So I just like literally showed up with a video camera, and I'm like, I'm just gonna make a video, a highlight reel of this. And it was Thesaurus was there, Bo Rat was there, Franco was there, Orokasaki, and I think somebody else. And I made a video and posted it online. You can actually find it on Ruin Your Day. And it has like this little motion graphics intro to it, which is like, I look back on it now and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's so bad. But everybody saw it at the time, and they were so blown away. They're like, whoa, what's this? It looks like fucking semi-pro. And that's how like I kind of met everybody. I met Lush through that, met them through the message boards, and ever since then, it's like I've had a relationship with like the whole battle scene pretty much.
So you said at the time when you watched Moon, you were a fan of Wu-Tang. How did you get into hip-hop?
I think my friends, really, man. Like, I think like I mean, like when I was like in 5th grade, I like still remember the first like the music I started listening to was so fucking corny. It's like the first music I listened to was fucking Weird Al Yankovic. Because it's like, you know, you're a child, and it's like you have no like taste for actual music. You're just like, this is funny. He's saying funny words. And then I got into like Green Day, Offspring. I bought Smash on a fucking cassette tape. I still fucking love that album.
That was my first Offspring album too.
Hell yeah, dude. That's fucking a great album, man. Self-Esteem is still a fucking dope-ass song. And then I think my friends got Wu-Tang Forever, the double disc. And I remember like I fucking loved that album. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like mixing like these like martial arts like samples and like fucking like rapping about cool shit, and they sound cool, and there's a lot of them. It was just like kind of like nothing I had ever heard before. So that's like Wu-Tang got me into fucking hip hop. And then from then on out, I like would go to like Sam Goody. I don't know if you remember that store, but it's like it was just like a local CD store, and I would seriously just like bring $100 there and buy every single Wu-Tang like affiliated album, because there was so many. It's like the Killer Bees, You Got, Capadonna, Jizza, RZA. You could just spend so much money on all the affiliate albums. And then I would slowly transition into buying like Capone and Noriega, Mobb Deep. I was like heavily into the East Coast hip hop, and yeah, that's it. And then after that, of course, being like the fucking suburban white piece of shit I was, I got into like underground backpacker hip hop, you know, where I was like the more underground, the better it was. I would like go on Audio Galaxy.
The backpack, yeah.
Yeah, where exactly the more fucking patchouli and fucking hemp I could fit around my neck and dreadlocks, and I would just like go on to Audio Galaxy and look for like the most underground hip hop I could find, and that is honestly what kind of brought me to battle rap because I found out about Anacon. And Anacon, I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're a group out of the Bay Area. They're originally from the Midwest. But one of the leading founders of it, Dose One, is a battle rapper. And he battled at Scribble Jam. He battled Eminem at Scribble Jam. He battled Juice at Scribble Jam. And so that's how I found out about Scribble Jam. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I was at an Atmosphere show, and I bought Scribble Jam 2001, the VHS. And I remember putting it in, and Mac Lethal versus Kashmir the Professional was the first battle up, and Mac Lethal fucking like bodies him. When you watch that battle today, it's like kind of fucking hella racist and shit, and it's definitely not. It's like faux pas as fuck when you watch it in this today's climate. But back then it was like, you know, all bets are off, all gloves are off. Praise the white piece of shit up there on stage. But yeah, that really got me into battle rap and seeing like Sage Francis, Slug, Jin, Dose, Idea, all those guys on the stage like battling. That like. I was like, wow, this is fucking cool. And it was like freestyle battling too at the time. So yeah, that got me into it. And then I actually started rapping too myself. And I was fucking trash. I was so
you gotta
bad.
find those tapes.
Oh god, no.
Now
They're
you got me looking.
You know what?
Now I gotta find that.
Ilmac has actually heard me rap before. Fucking my friend Jeff, who films all the fucking battles with me. He like was over here filming a music video with Ilmac, and he fucking threw me under the bus, and I wasn't here. And he's like, yo, you want to hear Kyle rap? And he has some of it on his computer, and he played this terrible song that I'd never want to fucking ever like see the light of day. It's so horrible. The content is very offensive. And yeah, Ilmac like made an Instagram video of it. So, and then I also battled in like 2001. Also, I freestyle battled, and I was trash too. So, but yeah, that's how I got into hip hop. Long-winded story.
Can't freestyle, can't rap on beat. No hope.
Yeah,
No hope.
I think I could rap on beat, man, but I don't sound cool. And that's the thing about like, I think to be a rapper, you need to sound cool no matter what you say, because that's what drew me into hip hop is fools saying cool shit. I didn't know what fucking Wu-Tang, the members were saying. I didn't know fucking about what is it? Iron literally just talked to me about this higher mathematics, or like the 5%er, where it's like arm, leg, arm, head. Like that thing, like the 5% of like your body, and like you call it 7 o'clock like the God hour and stuff. Like that shit at that age went way over my head. It wasn't until fucking literally this weekend when I was talking to Iron Solomon that he was explaining the God hour being 7 o'clock. I was like, man, I always wondered what the fuck they were talking about. Meet me at the God hour. So it's not like I fucking understood the lyrical content of the music, but they sounded tight. And that's always what has driven me to like hip hop, and even battling too. Like, some of the shit I like the most in battle rappers is them saying shit and sounding cool. All my favorite battle rappers have that. Twerk, Redalas, Pass, all the Philly rappers, Ines, even Mook, Lux. Like, they say shit, and I necessarily don't think it's like the most lyrical or fucking insane stuff. But if you can say something and make it sound hella cool, that's all that matters to me, you know?
So you said the first battle you ever saw was a Moon battle. And then you said you were into Scribble Jam. Kind of break down a little bit how, like the timeline at least, of how you got into battle rap. Like from that Moon battle onto like getting into Scribble Jam.
Yeah, so saw the Moon battle, and that's kind of like what clued me into battle rap existing. And then from like 98 till around 2000, I didn't really know too much about it, but I got into like Anacon and like underground hip hop, and I realized that Dose One battled, and I still didn't really understand the concept of battle rap, because I remember talking to my friend and him being like, oh, Dose actually battled Eminem. I'm like, well, Dose One must have served the fuck out of him, because, you know, I just like Dose more. And my friend's actually like, nah, Eminem is like more of a battle rapper than Dose One is. And then yeah, like I said, at this Atmosphere show, Atmosphere toured with Mr. Dibbs, and Mr. Dibbs is like one of the people that threw Scribble Jam. So they were selling the Scribble Jam VHS tapes on their tour. Because Atmosphere was pushing that, like they were heavily involved. It's like the Midwest scene. And I bought it just because I was like, oh, I've heard about this. My friends actually went to, I think they went to that year. Yeah, and I put it in and fucking fell in love. Like, I watched the whole thing religiously. I used to watch that VHS tape so fucking much.
How old were you when all this was going on?
2001. I graduated high school in 2003, so 18, 17, 16. I was like 15, 16, like that time. That's like when I battled too, was when I was 15 or 16 years old. But yeah, that's when I first got into it, and I was like in love. And then I went to Scribble Jam 2002. Drove out there to Cincinnati, Ohio from Denver. I went to Scribble Jam 2003 as well, and then I didn't go back to Scribble Jam until 2008. So yeah, Yeah, and going to those scribble jams was also like hella pivotal too, and like me like really falling in love with battle rap. And then like after that, then that's when like the WRCs came. That's when the jump off came into play, WRCs, and like when the WRCs like fucking came into the scene, that's like when I really like got super fanned out on battle rap, you know. And like how they were like releasing that shit was like so different. Like nobody had done anything like that, where it was like weekly releases, like I think it was a day, like every single day a new battle would drop on their player.
Gee, that sounds nice.
Yeah,
I missed that. I missed those days.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Those days.
Because I mean, they had so many battles. You know, those fools battled like 18 times in a day. They battled every team twice. So it's like just like Jump Off and Harry were just like they were just content making machines at that point. But yeah, that's pretty much how step by step how I got involved with battle rap. And then, you know, I met everybody through message boards and yada yada.
So I looked you up, and you've done like movies and shit, like
Yeah.
like actual movies, like
Yeah, I have.
blockbuster movies.
Yep.
Tell me about some of the movies you've done.
Okay. Yeah, I've you know, I have a career in VFX, visual effects. I do compositing for a day job. It's not necessarily the best thing in the world, but it has paid the bills for the past 12 years of my life, so that's a cool thing. But I've worked on more movies than I can fucking name, man. I'm like, I like forget which movie I work on because I work on so many. I mean,
What about some of the big ones?
well, the first movie I ever worked on was Die Hard 4, and Fantastic Four, the one with Jessica Alba. And then I worked on Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. This year, what I've worked on that's been super big. I can't really say the stuff I worked on recently though, because it's all Marvel. So I've signed NDAs, so I can't like legally say, which is so fucking lame. But
we can't say it's Marvel. Apparently, we can say that.
Okay, well, I worked on something that's not Marvel. I worked
Okay,
on
there
a
you go.
DC movie. I worked on Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
But I can't say what I did on that because it's like the guy that I worked on doesn't even know what I did on him. And I wish I could talk about it because it's so fucking funny what I actually did to this guy. But yeah, I mean, I work on tons and tons and tons of movies, man, that I forget like what I worked on until I see trailers for them, and I'm like, why does this look familiar? And I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking worked on that. So yeah.
So you're still in? Are you still in the industry? I mean, obviously you just did.
Yeah,
Batman versus
yeah.
Superman.
The visual effects studio I work at is
you're
like literally
still-
2 blocks
okay.
away. Yeah, so I'm still doing VFX.
How do you fit battle rap, all the events you go to, with that schedule of doing movies?
Yeah, it's rough. It's hard, man. I mean, my relationships have been stressed out to say the least because of it. I work constantly, man. Like I don't like do a lot of stuff for like fun, quote unquote. You know, it's like whenever I'm like, oh, I have a weekend off. Like my ex-girlfriend used to constantly get mad at me because I'm like, I have a weekend off. Let's shoot fucking 5 music videos in a weekend. Oh, I have a weekend off. Let's fucking go shoot a documentary. You know, I never like, oh, I have a weekend off. Man, let's just like chill and like do laundry or like get shit done that I need to get done. I'm always in like passion work mode, especially with battle rap. So yeah, it's hard to fit my like life's passion, which is battle rap, in between VFX. It's gotten to the point where it's like I am gonna have to quit VFX in the near future for sure. The only thing is it's hard for me to justify that because it's like income, and then like not having that income anymore is scary. Like, you know, it's like battle rap pays me well, pays me good. I'm able to support my family through battle rap. I employ my younger brother. He's actually a full-time editor for Ruiner Day. I'm teaching him how to edit, and I help out all my friends. None of my friends that shoot battle rap with me are fans of battle rap. They're not like, I love battle rap. They're all people that know how to do film, and they're really good at film, and I like roped them into shooting battle rap with me, and, you know, pay them a rate. So it's gonna get to a point where it's like I'm gonna need to quit VFX and do battle rap full time. It's just gonna have to like make sense financially. But yeah, it's gonna be a sacrifice. But I want to do that because battle rap is I've like come to terms with battle rap being my life's full-time passion. Like this is like what I was meant to do, and this is like what I'm gonna do forever. You know, it's like I love this, and I've spent a lot of time in my life like being like, nah, battle rap's lame. Like, you know, you have like this like everybody has self-hatred in battle rap. Like even battle rappers, like they're like afraid to admit they're battle rappers, or they're afraid that they like battle rap, which I find so silly. Because as you mature, it's like, who cares, man? You like this. Like this is a legit art form, and it has its legit place as any art form does. There's no shame in saying that you're a fan of this shit. And I always used to have that shame of like, oh, I film battle rap and I don't make a lot of money doing it. Like when I first started it, I was losing money every single time I filmed an event because it's like pay for gas, pay for a hotel. And then especially when I was like when I was throwing my own events at the bunker, I was fucking going broke every single month. And this is with me having VFX income paying for it. And it's like, and I'm like, I'm not going to say my income at VFX, but I make good money doing it. And I was going broke every single month doing it. So it's like, it's hard to you know, like definitely like make that feeling sit well with you when you're like losing money. But I've come to terms that this is my life calling, and like it's not going to be complete until I like put 1,000% into it. And doing VFX and doing battle rap, I'm not putting 1,000% into it. So I just got to like wait for the right time to make that move. But in the near future, I'm definitely going to do battle rap full time.
So you mentioned your first gig that you did, the first battle. Tell me about those first couple of gigs.
The first battles I did? Hold on, I'm going to adjust this really fast. Brighten this up for y'all. All right, that's better. Okay. First couple of events. Yeah, the first event I ever filmed was Battle of the Bay 1. Actually, that's not true. The first events I ever filmed was the 16 bars one. I filmed a Scribble Jam prelim. I forgot who won. I think Dirtbag Dan beat Reverse Live, not even rapping. Dirtbag Dan, do you know what a rope-a-dope is? It's where you like distract your opponent by doing something else. But he like did a thread the needle, and he basically was doing, it's where you do this, and then you jump back through your leg, holding your foot still. So
and that won a rap battle?
And he won the round doing that because like Reverse Live was rapping at him and Dirtbag Dan's like, look at me everyone, and did that, and everybody's like, he wins, he just did that. That was so crazy. And that started Dan on his winning streak that might not have been justified 100% of the time. But yeah, so my first a cappella battle that I filmed though was Battle of the Bay 1 with Thesaurus versus Madness, Kodiak RIP versus Franco, XT RIP versus D-Lore, Tantrum versus Reverse Live, Pass versus Illusion Z, Dirtbag Dan versus The Coroner, and Frank Stacks versus S-Rock. And I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything else. Oh, Subverse versus Flow too was on there. So that was the full card.
So tell me about Fresh Coast. I mean, you did the documentary, you've been around through that whole era. You know, tell us about that era in battle rap for you.
So Fresh Coast was a documentary I made. I met Philip Drummond through the message boards, and he's this guy that's been filming battle rap for hella long. He filmed all these like underground freestyle battles. So he kind of just had like this huge archive of footage of like freestyle battle footage that kind of like had never seen the light of day. And what he used to do actually was like make DVDs and sell them. That was like his hustle. And he just hit me up because he saw me make that 16 bars video, and he's like, oh, this guy's talented. He's like, do you want to make a full-length documentary about the West Coast battle scene? And I'm like, yeah, that actually sounds like really interesting to me. And that was the first like battle rap related thing I ever did after the 16 bars. And it was a full feature documentary. It was 93 minutes long. It almost got into fucking South by Southwest. It got into a film festival in Hawaii. And yeah, it took me like 8 months to make. I filmed all the interviews in a day with like the source. I flew No Can Do up to the Bay from LA. And that was the first time I was like meeting a lot of those fools. And through that, I filmed Battle of the Bay 1 as an agreement that I would film it on the pretense of being able to use that footage in Fresh Coast. So I had all this footage, edited it together. It took me like 4 months in post to make. Editing documentaries is a fucking goddamn nightmare. That's why whenever anybody like approaches me like, hey, you should do another documentary about like King of the Dot or Grind Time, I'm like, fuck no. Like that took me so long to do Fresh Coast, and like it was cool at the end of the day, but I'm much more on the wavelength nowadays of like Ruin Your Day and content that I can edit really fast and put out there. Like that to me is much more gratifying and way more fun to do. It's like the thing that I don't like about visual effects is like when we spend so long on just one shot and I'm staring at like somebody's fucking arm for like fucking a month and they're like, or like the hair detail in this, the one shot isn't good, or the explosion doesn't look that good, and it's just like revamping the same shit over and over again to the point that you fucking like want to poke your eyes out. That's how I felt editing Fresh Coast, is like I just had so many revisions and notes and like being really tough on myself. So yeah, then we printed up the DVDs. I think we sold like 300 like worldwide. Like I had people like in Estonia, Ethiopia, Russia, South Africa, Australia, the UK, blah blah blah, buy them, and I would just go to the mailbox or the post office every single day on my lunch break doing VFX in Hollywood at the time, and just ship out like DVDs fucking every single day. And yeah, that kind of is what got me noticed, I guess, like as being like a bigger filmer, like by a lot of people, you know. So yeah, it's still dope. I still watch that fucking documentary and still kind of like semi proud of it. I see stuff I did, I'm like, oh, that still like looks kind of good. Or like the motion graphics I do, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know, that I did that at that time.
What about that era? I mean, it was kind of one of the prime times of the West Coast of the scene. It's basically the foundation of what we have going on here today.
Yeah, I mean, it was heavily based upon like the WRCs and Thesaurus and LMAX run. You know, they were like the fucking top guys in the world at that time. And like when they won the WRCs, there was nothing like that where people won that much money from one competition. Scribble Jam was kind of big, but it wasn't until Scribble Jam 2004 or 5. 2005 is the year that Justice won, and that prize money was $10K, and it was the first WRCs was 2006, and the prize was $10K again, and then 2007 the prize was $50,000, which is fucking insane. So I came into the scene after 2007. So yeah, the scene out here was established. It was heavily based in freestyling, like, and the West Coast's terminology of freestyling is different than the rest of the world's terminology of freestyling, kind of to a degree, where it's like freestyling in the West Coast is more based on like cipher rhythm and feeling in the moment and coming like really like thinking of stuff on the spot, incorporating some stuff in that you like have premeditated, but mostly it's like all about thinking free and kind of like just saying what's coming and learning how to fit that into a rhyme scheme on the spot. Where the East Coast freestyling is like just like rap right now, spit or verse right now. It's free. It's a freestyle. Like what you're getting right now is a free verse, essentially. Neither is right or wrong, but that was just kind of the West Coast definition of it at the time. So all the battles that happened out here, especially in like the beat freestyle era, were all like kind of like off the top type of shit. So yeah, and that's where you found a lot of people like from Tourette's Without Regrets. That was a show in Oakland that was like this like crazy circus sideshow that like had also a rap battle. Like they would have like poetry, burlesque dancing, like and like fucking fire breathers, and then a rap battle, and it was fucking crazy, man. It was so much fun, and that's where Thesaurus really like harnessed his craft and got like hella good. Bo Rat also. There's a bunch of people that actually battled there that didn't really make the transition into a cappella battling. Like Infinite was somebody that was there all the time. Rukusaki. But yeah, that's like what it was heavily based on at the time.
So tell me how you got involved with King of the Dot. Like you said, you did Back to Basics, but you ended up being the guy who's done most of their work in these last couple of years. So how did that relationship happen?
So I was filming for Grind Time, and obviously I met Organic at Battle of the Bay 5. But before I met him on the Battle of the Bay 5, we like had conversations online through the message boards, through rapmusic.com, and actually we had a couple like kind of hostile conversations. I used to be like a fucking dick online. I mean, I'm a fucking like I was on the message boards. Whenever you come from the message boards, at one point in time you were a troll. You were a troll, like you started off like just trolling people because it's so easy and fun. And I remember specifically like one time like I was filming for Grind Time, and you know, like being from the Fresh Coast style, like my whole style was kind of like outlandish bright colors, like Oakland hyphy movement. Everything's bright and big, like super like long shirts and shit. So like all the colors in the Fresh Coast documentary are bright, like purples, pinks, turquoise, green, cyan. And then so that's like a lot of my design sense. And I remember like there was a King of the Dot battle where it's like the winner gets a free shirt. And I remember like I posted on rapmusic.com, I'm like, oh wow, the winner gets a free shirt, fuck yeah, like clowning Organic. And Organic is like, would you have been happier if it was purple? And I was like, whatever, fuck you. But yeah, we were like had that little back and forth, and then I met him when he came out to Battle of A5, and he was like a hella cool guy. Met Ryan PvP, who was at the time working with King of the Dot. So established the relationship there, and then it kind of like it just kind of stayed that way. Like I was kind of just always like good friends with Organic. I thought he was like a really cool guy. I always really liked King of the Dot, and then they contacted me to do the intro to Thesaurus versus Holohan. So I actually did that intro. I didn't film that battle, but I did that motion graphics intro where it has like the Gangs in New York speech, and they like made this custom beat and like cut a bunch of lyrics that like Thesaurus and Holohan said. And then that kind of like was the norm. They would always come to me like, oh, do these motion graphics intros, and I kind of became like the intro guy, you know. And then it wasn't until World Domination 1 that they were like, I was like, wow, this card is crazy, and I was giving it a lot of praise. I was like, this card is so insane. And that was like right around the time I filmed MOB, and they're like, do you just want to like come up and film it? And at the time they had another filmer, and they're like, okay, this is kind of like awkward because we have this other guy that films for us full time. We don't want to like, you know, be like, oh, you're not filming this event because like you're not as good and this guy's way better. But I was like, okay, so like you guys work that out. And they were like, yeah, we'll just tell this guy to take a break for this event. And his name was P. Shout out P. You're the fucking man. And yeah, I came up and filmed with him for like the next couple events, and then that's how the relationship with King of the Dot started. And they did like really good business, which, you know, at the time, Grind Time and King of the Dot, it was like King of the Dot was obviously the superior person in doing business because Grind Time was like run by like 17 million different people. So it's like you're gonna get people that operate in different senses business-wise. So I just preferred working with King of the Dot, and then, you know, multiple things happened with Grind Time, and I was over filmed with Grind Time. I'm like, I'll never film with you guys again. And then I was strictly filming with King of the Dot for like a really long time. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of like thought that I was King of the Dot staff. You know, they're like, oh, he's King of the Dot staff. You know, like I never was King of the Dot staff. I worked for them a great deal, threw events for them for a lot, and I love those guys still to this day. I fucking love King of the Dot. That's like, I still feel like that's my baby in a sense. Like I'm like, like when I see things, I'm like, fuck, I wish I could do this better, or like, you know, this, you know. And I'm still really glad they hired me for all the events. But yeah, like I love those early days of working with them. World Dom 1, World Dom 2. And that was like the period of when like I kind of had a hate-love relationship with battle rap, of like when I was like losing a lot of money and also like working really hard at it, and my friends weren't really supportive of me doing this strange thing. You know, they didn't see a lot of money in it or didn't see a future in it. So I like quit multiple times. Like I think I've quit filming battle rap like 4 or 5 times, man, and made it public too. Like I'm like Jay-Z. I'm like, I'm never doing this shit again. And then like fucking a week later, Organic will be like, oh, we got Blackout 2, and we have like Holohan versus Cortez, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll fucking film that card, whatever. But yeah, man, that's how the relationship with King of the Dot started.
Now, tell me about how you got involved with Smack.
How I got involved with Smack. Okay, so, always been a huge fan of Smack, obviously. Like, I mean, like, I saw his battles that he was filming of, like, you know, Mook and Sirius, like, way before I was, like, even thinking about being involved with battle rap. And especially Dose and Math and the Iron Math battle, too. So I always, like, kind of looked up to him because he's actually the only person in battle rap that's been filming battle rap longer than I have, is Smack, because he was the one holding the cameras. He actually used to do all the editing, too, for all the Smack DVDs and shit. And also, I think Smack used to edit all the early Smack battles, too, the URL Smack battles. He was doing the editing for, which is fucking insane, because it's just crazy to think somebody as cool as Smack, like he's like the coolest person on fucking planet Earth, is also like a AV guy too, you know. It's like very interesting juxtaposition.
When I think about it, he was one of the first media people there was. I mean, he was doing interviews and things like that. Even before, like what he always says was the battles was just something I threw on there. All my stuff was music videos,
right?
Interviews.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and I remember like I watched a video of like, I forgot who they were interviewing, but Beasley's doing the interview too. You could hear Beasley's voice because Beasley's voice is very distinct and very noticeable. And I remember watching it. It's hella old. It's like from 2005, and Beasley's doing the interview. And he's like, it's kind of funny because you can like hear him being a little more rough around the edges too. He's not as professional as he is now. But yeah, those guys have been around for a fucking minute. So I always looked up to Smack and URL, and I always admired like what they did, how they came into battle rap, and basically just like their marketing campaign of being like, we're the best, we're the fucking best. Nobody's better than us, and it worked. And you know, it's like their marketing and business plan, like everything worked for them really good. And they backed it up with doing good business. So Traffic 3 was the first event I filmed for them. I actually met Beasley at Traffic 2. It was at the Airliner, which is down the street from my ex-girlfriend's house, which is where I was living at the time. I came, I paid to get in. I was like, hey, I just want to watch, you know, a Smack event. This is the first like Smack event I've been to. And I met I met Beasley, and I actually helped them out that night because they didn't have lights. They didn't have like any LED lights. And I was like, oh, I have them. Do you want to like just use mine? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I actually brought my lights. They used them inside for like Danny Myers versus Young Cannon, Pass versus Briz Rothstein. And I had Michael, shout out HBY, he used my tripod too. So I kind of just like gave them equipment because I didn't want the event to like be horrible or just like suck, you know. I was like, yeah, do this. And then Traffic 3, actually I have to give a lot of the praise to Disaster for getting me involved with Smack, because one of his requirements actually to battle on URL was to have me film it. He's like, you need this guy to film your battles because I don't do any battles that are not filmed by Avocado. Diz has always been in my corner, man. Like he's seen the importance of why you need to have your footage look good, because he's battled on every single league around the world and he's had footage look really bad, and it's just not a good look when your product is being presented shitty. It would be like if fucking like Migos Future Drake had like a fucking 4-track mix of something. Nowadays that would probably be hella tight if they did that, but I mean, like, you know, if it was like poor audio quality. So Diz actually put that in URL's ear and they hit me up, you know, and from then on out, like, we worked with them and it was like fucking worked so good. They're so fucking professional. Like, I can't even tell you, it's crazy. Like, they operate like a real business and I've been filming them with them every single month since October of last year. So almost a year I've been filming with them. And we've done a battle every single month, if not 2 battles a month, live, pay-per-view, streams. So it's been nuts. Been a crazy ride.
Now, you said Disaster requested you. You said that he's someone who knows the importance of having good footage. What does Disaster look for in good footage? How do you make his angles look right? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't think he looks for anything in particular. I just know how crazy he is and like how much of a performer he is, and I don't know. I just think he has an eye for quality, really, and I think that's it. Like, he's a smart guy. He's a really smart individual. So I think that was it. He just wanted his product to look good, and he knew that him getting on URL was a big look, and especially battling Tay-Rock. So he wanted to put his best foot forward. And I think subconsciously he also wants the West Coast to look really good too. So that's why he wanted to get me on, because there's a lot of people on that card. Geechee B.Rum, Danny, like, it was a fucking heavy West Coast card, and they wanted to look the best, and I think that event looks really, really fucking good. So yeah, I was happy how it turned out.
I would definitely agree on that, and I think the fans would agree with me also in saying that I've never seen battle rap look as good as it does right now on Smack. Smack and King of the Dot, obviously the footage is crazy because you're the one who's doing it, and it hasn't looked better, honestly.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
I mean, would you say the same thing? I mean, like, is there any other leagues out there that are putting in good footage as good as yours?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like as good or worse or better, but there's people that put out really good looking stuff. Like Liam Bagnall has always been doing a good job for Don't Flop. He doesn't do battles anymore, but Critical, who he filmed for Base Mentality, did good. Twiz, I don't really know what's up with Twiz, man. I don't know why he's not filming battle rap anymore, but when he did his shit, he was like it was always Avo and Twiz, like they're the best guys, you know, and he did shit way differently than I would do it, and that's why it was so cool that there was somebody out there that wasn't like, we weren't just replicating each other. Like, he was doing different shit and I was doing different shit, and I like that there's like different styles. And like, shout out John Doe too, he does shit that I wouldn't necessarily do on Black Ice Cartel. So all those fools are hella dope. Yeah, fucking Twiz killed a lot of the URL battles. My 2 favorite events that they ever did was the event, and I always fuck this up, I don't know if it was Gnome or Summer Madness, is the event with B Magic and Conceited, Hitman, and Sue Surf. That battle, that whole event looks fucking phenomenal. The audio sounds good, and also the event that DNA battled Ill Will at both look fucking crazy. Like, I still look at that footage and being like, damn, you guys fucking knocked it out of the park with not only the angles, the color grading, the audio, not violating the 180-degree rule. Like, everything was fucking fire about that, man.
So tell me about creating Ruin Your Day. It's like, what, 3-4 years old, something like that?
Oh, I think it's older than that, actually, man. I think it might.
As far as the channel goes, or something like what came first, the channel or the brand? I mean, what?
The
tell me
channel.
About,
so
right.
so basically, Ruin Your Day, I think started in like 2012. We could probably actually like look up what the oldest battle was that we uploaded, because you can do that. You can like sort them by upload date. All right, here we go. Newest, where is it? Oh, what the fuck? I thought you can like.
I would think there'd be an oldest section too.
Yeah, there is, but I think it's not when you're actually like
okay.
on your own channel. But anyways, regardless, the oldest battle that, or the year that I started Ruin Your Day, I think was 2012, and it started basically as a thing to upload all these like old freestyle battles that I had from Fresh Coast that like just hadn't been uploaded, and I'm like, oh, I have all this old footage. Why don't I just upload it? Because it's like I knew King of the Dot wasn't gonna want it. I knew no other league was gonna want this footage, and the idea behind the name Ruin Your Day was like, I don't know if you've done this, but I find myself doing this pretty often when I'm fucking super bored and going through YouTube. I'm like, I'll click on a video, and then I'll click on another video, and then I'll click on a video, and before or not, I'm watching fucking like a bunch of cats eat pizza or something.
Right.
And I'm just like, fucking, it's
You
like
get to some weird
2 a.m. and I'm just like, like I snap out of it. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing
You
this?
get to some weird places on the
Yeah,
internet.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You always see those comments like, okay, I found the dark corner of YouTube or something like that, and that's what I wanted Ruin Your Day to mean. It's like, just ruin your fucking day with this channel. Like, go down a click hole, like click a bunch of fucking videos and fucking like eviscerate your day on YouTube. So that was the idea behind the name. And also I kind of like the name too, because you could put it on clothing, and like it has no relation to battle rap. It's like, oh, that's funny, it says Ruin Your Day, haha, you know, like. So yeah, that's how the channel started.
So it started out as a place for, like you said, behind the scenes footage, that kind of thing, old battles.
Yeah.
How did it get into Daily Spice? How did it get into battles? How did it get into like the battles that you do now, like the one, what was it, Ronnie versus Random, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Geechee versus Reverse Line.
Yeah.
And then Watch Live. How did it get into those kind of segments?
Yeah. So honestly, by accident. Like, all this was a fucking accident. Like, Watch was an accident. Watch was just like, I was like hanging out with Ilmac and Chase a lot, like shooting, Raising the Bar, and like just because like Ilmac just moved to LA, and I've been friends with that fool for a while, and was helping him out with music videos. I was like letting him use my Red and stuff, and I was like, hey man, like, do you want to like just like drink one day and fucking film us watching battles, and we could just talk about it? And like, seriously, there was no like, I have a brilliant idea, or like, I've seen reaction videos. Like, I didn't even fucking know what reaction videos were. I was just like, okay, I don't know, like maybe this will be funny. And I thought people were gonna hate it, to be honest, when I uploaded it, because like we were kind of going in on certain things that were like super faux pas. And yeah, that first Watch video we did was Soul versus Real Deal, and I remember like people fucking loved it. And at the time I wasn't doing them live, I was doing them just like filming them, then editing them, which was a fucking huge pain in the ass, because whenever we stopped the battle, I had to like fucking frame hold the clip until we hit spacebar again and like redo it. And then Daily Spice came out of me just being like, oh, there was this one time that Grant almost fought this dude at Battle of the Bay 6. Wouldn't it be funny just to fucking make a video of that? And then we could just have this series of just little funny moments in battle rap, because there was all these like super hilarious moments that I thought were fucking super funny. So that's how Daily Spice got birthed. And yeah, Daily Spice has definitely like gotten me into a lot of trouble, because it's like highlighted some like bad parts about battle rap. But Watch has been always good, and especially when Jeff, my friend who films all these battles with me, pushed me into doing it live. He was like, you need to do this live. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, we'll do this live. When I started doing it live, that's when it like fucking took off. Remember those like first couple live sessions? Like, you know, there's like 220 people watching this right now. Like the first live sessions I did for Watch, there was 1,000 people in there every time. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy, you know? Because it was new and exciting. You know, it's tapered off now, but yeah, that's where Watch and like Daily Spice, and then the battles came into play, where I was like, I just want to shoot a battle on the Alexa, and that's what Human versus Ronnie and Reverse Live versus Geechee Gotti was filmed on. Was this camera called the Alexa, and that's what feature films are shot on. They're all shot on Alexa. Like Jeff used to own one. He doesn't own one anymore, but he owned one for a little bit. I'm like, hey, let's shoot a battle on it. Fuck it, like it's never been done before. Let's light it really cool. We can shoot it in my apartment. And yeah, that's how the battles got put in, and then the fucking balloon battle came into play on a fucking joke too. Of like me and Stalk were returning from Battle of the Zay, and we're like, wouldn't it be funny if we just like did the fucking balloon battle, because that's been a long time joke from Matt Ills of like he like thought it was actually like cool to do a hot air balloon battle, like he wanted to do it with like Johnny Storm and High Collide. And I was like, and everybody was like, what the fuck? Why would that be fucking cool? That's like the silliest idea in the world. It's like a mockery. And then I was talking to Stock. I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if we just did it? And then I don't know why the first person I thought of was Thesaurus. And I'm like, Thesaurus, I like called him. I'm like, you down to battle Stock in a hot air balloon? And he's just like, yes. And so from that day on out, we just planned it, fucking did it. Premiered it that day. We filmed it that morning, like 5 a.m. And then I edited it at the like fucking lounge, the like airplane lounge they have at the fucking balloon place. And then I uploaded it that day, and we premiered it live on RYD Day. And ever since then, I've just been like a fan of doing like different fun shit. Like there's so much more stuff I want to do. It's kind of getting to a point where it's not going to really be battle rap related. Like I want to do series I wanted to do like a series called Do Good, and it's just about doing good. And it's like I would like fucking film myself like fucking like if there's a pothole right there, like put a pot, like fill the pothole or something, and
literally doing good.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And you can call that exploitative because it's like I am filming myself putting it up. But my point of that would be like film yourself doing something good and send it in to me, and I'll post it. Like because I just want to like promote positivity and doing good to other people also. And yeah, that's my point of this channel. I want to make this channel kind of a little bit bigger than battle rap. Not necessarily go to a demographic that people that are my core fan base would be like, why the hell is Avocado like giving like LOM clothing to homeless people or something, you know? But you know, it would like be roped in through that, like it's like LOM, so it's like the the relations there. So yeah, that's like kind of like the future of RYD Day. I'm kind of trying to expand it into different demographics essentially.
Now you've got me thinking about the next time I'm in LA and I see a bunch of homeless people. They're gonna be wearing LOM clothing.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hollow would be down. I told that fool like that. Like I used to do that shit all the time. Like he still does it to this day. He helps out just random people, and like I'm always like, dude, film it. Film yourself doing that. Like I know you feel a certain way about being like, oh, I'm just filming it to be like I'm a good person, love me. But I'm like, that encourages other people to do that, because then they see you doing that. I know when I see you doing that shit, I want to be a better person, like, and that's all that matters at the end of the day in my book.
So break down for me like all the work that goes into doing an event. Like break down what you have to do pre-production, during the event, post-production. Like what actually goes into doing like a Summer Madness like you just did, something like that.
A lot, a lot nowadays. Like, whew, that's the thing, man. Like a lot of people always be like, when I started film for URL, like a couple of people were like, oh man, don't let them see the equipment used. They're just gonna use you for one event and then buy the exact same equipment and never use you again. And I'm like, nobody can replicate what we do, because it's like the years of experience, and like we do hella R&D, man. Like we do so many tests. We fucking like everything from like the color of like the battle is like a perfected thing. Like it's not just something that we do on the fly. Like we perfect it. The lighting is perfected. The lights we use for battles is specifically for battle rap. Everything is like a fucking working machine that we like have R&D to the point of working perfectly. So that ahead of time gets thought out. Like when we book an event, we're like, okay, where's the venue? We go to the venue early, do a plan of like how we're gonna do it. And yeah, usually we don't have a lot of time setting up. Luckily in Summer Madness 7, the venue was like hella cool, and they let us set up a day early, which never has happened. That's never fucking happened. So that event was actually very non-stressful. It was awesome. Like everything on our end worked really good, and I think it was the fucking result of Initiation sucking so much. Initiation, that the venue was like not easy to work with. They didn't have AC.
I'm sweating just thinking about.
Yeah, it was terrible, dude. It was terrible. Like, and that's happened so many times where the venue doesn't have AC, and you know what they do? They actually do fucking have AC. They turn the AC off so people will buy more drinks.
Yep.
So fucked up. Venues They're all fucking vultures, man, for the most part. But yeah, man, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And then, you know, like after we film the event, it's not over. That's when the work fucking actually begins, because I have to edit all this shit. I have to take it home, edit it, you know, fucking color grade everything, put graphics over it, get Beasley to do a tail of the tape, fucking export it, upload it, and then do the next one and the next one and the next one. So it's quite a bit of work. And then like on the opposite end, I don't edit trailers for URL. They have Derez do it, who's a really talented editor out of Phoenix. And he edits so many trailers, man. Like I feel like every other day he's putting up a new trailer for like their next event, for the next battle. They edit a trailer for every single battle coming up. So yeah, it's a lot of work, man. A lot of post-production work.
So pay-per-views have kind of changed the way, it's changed the whole battle rap landscape pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, events have gotten a lot bigger within the last year. I mean, you can tell Summer Madness 7 looks a lot different than 6, and going forward, all these events are looking different. Would you say that it's for better or for worse? Because there have been some drawbacks. I mean, views, while battle rap is more visible than it's ever been, views on YouTube are lower. You know, there's a couple things that go along with it. Mm-hmm. You get a lot of people like shouting out the result on Facebook saying, oh, so-and-so won. And then when the footage comes out, you know, it's not the same as what people were saying a couple months ago. Yeah. So for better or for worse, do you think pay-per-views have really changed battle rap?
Yeah, I think if anything, they've changed battle rap for the better, because I was always a proponent for live pay-per-views. I was the one that pushed King of the Dot into doing live stuff, because they were on the tip of, oh, we need to do VOD because it's easier, it's reliable. Like the first live pay-per-view I did was Cannabis versus Diz, and that was like just me typically being ambitious, and I hired a company to help me out with it. I knew nothing about streaming at the time, and that was also when streaming was a lot different than today. Today, streaming is fucking at your fingertips. Like you could go live on fucking Instagram right now. Like anybody can go to live on their fucking phone. That wasn't possible back in Diz versus Cannabis. Hired a company, they shit the bed, they did a really fucking terrible job. We paid them a lot of money to fuck up. And that's actually what's happened with URL too. URL like hired a company repeatedly in New York that's shit the fucking bed as well. And yeah, I think I liked the challenge, and I was like, I want to like put my foot into this and like give fans live pay-per-view, because that's how it should be viewed. Every sporting event is live. Everything is live. You're a football fan. We're just talking about this. Do you watch games over again repeatedly? You watch them. You probably watch. Do you watch Red Zone?
Sometimes. I mean, if I have it, like Red Zone, you have to pay extra for it. But I mean, like if it's available, like sometimes you watch Red Zone.
Do you watch the games over again?
No, I don't really watch the games over again.
So that's
the only reason you watch Red Zone is to like see all the scoring plays.
Yeah.
Really it's a fantasy thing.
That's
like
my point. Is I watch Red Zone because it's all live happening when it's happening live in front of you. Same with fights. Same with UFC. Same with boxing. You never watch something fucking after it happens. You know, you're like, oh, I heard this guy get knocked out. Oh, let's watch it. Like, what is this, fucking 1993 or something? Like, you watch shit live, so battle rap should be no fucking different. And I think, like, I mean, I guess you could say the views have been affected a little bit. I don't think drastically, but I think looking at views as being this ultimate important thing is like sort of a pastime view. Views on YouTube aren't important, man. YouTube is not paying what everybody says it's paying. It's not paying that much. It's not important at all to get a fucking crazy viewed battle, man. The thing is to get an audience there, an audience in front of you. Like these people watching right now are more important to me than a fucking 100,000 viewed battle. Like getting a fan base that will watch what you do, whatever you do. You know, that's more important to me. And you do that by cultivating an audience and by doing it live, you know, making them feel like they're a part of the event. Oh, I'm there. I can fucking watch Hitman versus Tay-Rock as it's happening. Oh shit, this event is fucking kind of going south. And like everybody's talking about it online on Twitter. It becomes like this global fucking event. So I think it's pushed battle rap towards the better for sure, in my opinion.
So who are some of your favorite Ruin Your Day guests? You know, you've done a bunch of watch lives up to this point. I mean, you've had Geechee on there, Ilmac, all these dudes. Who are some of your favorite guests?
I like them all. That's like asking who's your favorite child.
Right.
They're all great for different reasons, but I mean, obviously the regulars are like the people that I depend on. Ilmac and Geechee are like the two top regular guys right now. Like Geechee is always down to do a watch. I could probably hit him up right now and he'd be down to do one. Like, because he's fucking good at them. He's hilarious. He's fucking introspective. Everything about him on the show is amazing. I also like that he doesn't drink because I don't drink now too, so I like don't feel the need and pressure to drink. Ilmac is also a good one because he's like highly highly fucking intelligent, and the way he breaks down battle rap makes me feel fucking stupid. I'm like, goddamn, how do you like know this? This is insane. You have like such an introspective mind. And then of course I like everybody that's been on the show. I like all the women that I've had on. I need to get more women on. I like everybody from out of town that's been on. Big K, Marv, Iron. I like Mickey Fax a lot. He told some fucking amazing stories about Math versus Dose that I thought was like absolutely incredible. I like everybody. I want to get more league owners on there. I want to get Organic on. I want to get Smack on really bad. I want to get Beasley on. I want to get on. When I go to London, I plan on just like fucking like doing watches 24/7, like somehow not drinking, but we'll see about that.
So let's see what else we got here. So what would you say is probably the most memorable event you've ever done?
Battle Bay 5. Battle Bay 5. Like, no questions asked. At the time, that wasn't really a memorable event. Well, okay, at the time it was a memorable event, but like you never really realize how classic and how important something is when it's happening until like years later. Like Battle Bay 5, I'm just being like, oh cool, another event down in the fucking books, you know, blah blah blah. Like Hollow and Pass, like that was fun. Arsenal Conceded was kind of crazy. Yellow Mac and the Source was like a really good battle, probably one of the best ones I've ever seen live. And then when I look back on it in paper, I'm just like, fuck man, every single battle was good. Every fucking single battle was good. And you'll never ever get an event like that. You'll never get an event where Aver battles Marv 1, where Conceded battles Conceded battles Arsenal, Hollow versus Pass, and then on the flip side, you get versus Reverse Live, Kruger versus Illusion Z. Then on the flip side of that, you get fucking a Thesaurus versus Ilmac, Fresco versus Kid Twist versus Madness, Pesci versus Tantrum, Organic versus Diz. It's like, there will never be something like that ever again. I think that's something so special, and I think that's why that event will never be replicated. Like, nothing like that will ever happen in the history of battle rap again. Granted, I didn't work on it, but I think another event that's like probably you could say is a historically impactful as Battle Bay 5 is Summer Madness 2. I think that event held the most weight for turning battle rap to like a crazy fucking like bigger than life thing of having Puff Daddy and Busta Rhymes there, Lux, Mook, Sirius Jones coming back to battle, Ines coming back to battle. Fucking nuts, man. That event was fucking really, really crazy. So yeah, I think Battle Bay 5, as far as like events I filmed, is like my favorite one on paper.
So have you ever had an event go like catastrophically wrong? Like just everything's gone wrong, things like that?
Yeah, definitely. Those been events that have. Virus went catastrophically wrong. I had to like fucking end the event. Like I was just like, I'm not filming this anymore. I'm leaving right now. Me and Liam Bagnall just bounced. We stopped a couple fights from happening after we turned the cameras off, and then we just fucking bounced. And I was like, oh, that's when I was like drinking during events too, so I was like even more angry. And I was just like, you'll never see this footage again! As I like get into a lift and like peel off like Joker. I'm like, ah! But yeah, that event went bad.
How does that hold on? How does that happen? Like, how does it go from? Okay, we got.
I didn't want to film that event in the first place, though. I knew that bad shit was going to happen during that event. I don't really want to talk about what happened because it's like,
right.
But it's like, on paper, you knew something bad was going to happen. Like with the people dressing up as certain people, I was like, this is not a good look. This is a terrible idea. It's exploitative of racism, and I didn't really fuck with it. I kind of got pushed into filming it because Liam came out and he was filming it, and I'm like, okay, I'll fucking help you out. But that event went super south. I mean, I don't know, like Bola 4, I guess, went south because of Diz and Math, but the thing is, that whole event happened.
Right.
And then that was the end of the event.
Right.
So it's that whole event was super tight, and there was like really good battles at that event, so I wouldn't say that was ruined. I think those are the only two that like have had anything kind of weird happen. Oh, and MOB too. MOB, if you don't remember, Diz battled Arsenal, the rematch. Wait. No, not the rematch, the first one. And the light shut off in Diz's second, so he was rapping, and it's just my camera light on him. And then they didn't finish the battle. So that, and then also Ilmac versus Ness were supposed to battle at that event, and they battled in the parking lot. And surprisingly enough, that was the best battle of MOB because the environment was so much better. But yeah, I think those three were the only ones that have like kind of gone awry. and gone south.
So what are some of the, like you broke down earlier, you know, what you have to do pre-production, during the event, post-production, you know, what are some of the hardships you have to go through through all that? You know, what are some of the difficulties that come with this job?
I mean, it being super stressful, it being like literally we're at these venues for like 16 hours and we're not like eating food or like nourishing ourselves. We're just like holding cameras and being like, and then it's also like, you know, I'm being driven by passion. Like Jeff, Ben, Phil, like all these guys that like don't really love battle rap like I do. I feel bad for them because it's like they're just going through the fucking works right now. And then when an event goes south, it's like that's even worse. And like I used to be like hella nervous about fights because of like, you know, camera equipment being damaged, but now I like don't fucking care. It's like, dude, it'll just like I've seen so many almost fights happen or so many fights happen during battle rap that I'm just like I'll just walk away or like I'll get in the middle and like just or walk away. You know, it's like not like anything bad's gonna happen. But yeah, I think that's the biggest one is just being there for so long, like being there for 18 hours and like not eating and just being like worn out. And then we've gotten to the point of like some of these URL events, like they're all over the country. So it's like we'll take a red eye out from LA on Friday night, land in Richmond, Virginia at 8 a.m., go straight to the venue, not go to a hotel, work the whole fucking day until like 1 a.m., go back to the hotel. By the time we get back to the hotel after packing up, it's 3 a.m. We got to get on a flight at 5 a.m. So we go straight to the airport. So we don't sleep for like 48 hours
Right.
and work between that too.
Right.
So it's gnarly, man. It's fucking hella gnarly. But, you know, it's worth it for battle rap, right, guys?
You do it for the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, one of the things that I kind of notice when I'm covering an event, when I'm taking photos, I mean, I've got my eye like in my camera the whole time, you know, taking pictures of an event.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find that like I come away from that battle and I'm like, I don't remember any of the bars that were said in this moment. Do you even get to watch, as busy as you are, you're even busier than I am, you're the busiest man at an event, do you even get to watch any of the battles?
Mm-hmm. Now I do because it's like since I'm like like a director now, I sit in the back with the pay-per-view like this screen's up and I have the switcher board and I'm like literally choosing what angles the viewers are seeing, like live editing it. So I'm like watching the battle and I'm like I like know the rhythm of battle. It's like, oh, crowd reaction, boom, oh, this guy's about to switch up his flow here, like go to tight, then go to the wide, then go to the really wide. Like so I'm like feeling the cadence and the flow of the battle. So it's like I do watch the battles now and I react heavily. Like you like during Reed versus Rex, I was fucking like yelling the whole time. I was fucking screaming like a fucking little girl, dude. That battle was fucking amazing. But yeah, no, I watch the battles now. Thankfully, like back in the day when I was doing grind time and stuff, I was like giggling hella. Like there was like an Avo giggle. Like I would laugh at like fucking bars. And like Grizzlemania 2, I was all fucking wasted, so I was like fucking yelling and shit and like telling people to shut the fuck up and like just being like fucking hella rambunctious. You can like hear it in the footage too.
Have you put that into a Ruin Your Day yet? Like all these Avo moments of you
Somebody
like, fucked up or
somebody
something like that?
did have a compilation of all the times I've laughed when I like somebody made it one of the first times I quit battling. So they made that compilation. I don't know if it exists still, but that would be funny to dig up. But yeah, maybe I'll make a compilation of all the times I've like said some weird shit in battle rap.
Because you got that one where, what was it, like the dude behind the camera's reacting and then the battle's like, dude, you're the fucking cameraman, you know?
Oh, the Daily Spice?
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
You're doing too much. You're a cameraman, man. Because he's the only one that reacts. Yeah, that's fucking amazing. That guy was just hella bitter because he was getting fucking roasted in that battle. But yeah, I definitely need to make that compilation. Yeah, Pigside pointed out a funny one in Dumbfounded versus PH, RIP. When PH is choking, I go freestyle. I'm like, freestyle, man. Like I'm like trying to help him out, you know. I'm like, freestyle, go, don't choke, come on, PH. And I also did that with Diz and Locksmith when Diz is like, I fucked the fuck up, and then like he just like paces around. I'm like, come on, Diz, freestyle. So yeah, that's some of the funny shit I've said in battle rap.
Do you have a like some of your favorite battle rappers? Do you have a top 5? You know, something like that.
They alternate. Like, I don't know. That's hard for me to call. Just off the top of my head right now, the people that I love: Ilmax, Soul, Hollow, Pass, RYD Dallas. And then there's tons of other people. Like Twerk is like one of my favorite right now too. I also like Rex a lot. And yeah, I mean Thesaurus, all those cats. I think Hollow's the best in the world. He's the GOAT. I don't think there will be somebody that's better than him for a very long time. He's the best at like every, he's not the best, but he's exceptionally very good at everything in battle rap. And there's nobody else like that. There's people that are the best at one thing, like performers, fucking Hitman, Rock, even Reed, Flo, Reed, Ines, but like Hollow overall is like, he's a fucking 9 at everything, and that's why I think he's the GOAT.
Do you have like favorite battles of all time? Like something that, like, if you had a go-to battle to watch or something like that, if you had a battle that you had to show someone who didn't know what battle rap was.
Ooh, but that's different though. Like my favorite battles are probably not something I would show somebody that like didn't know anything about battle rap. I think I have like guilty pleasure battles and I'm like, this is my favorite battle, but I know it's not like the best battle. I think a battle that I would show somebody that knew nothing about battle rap would be a kind of a funnier battle. There would be 3. I would show them, oddly enough, they both involve Dumbfounded. It'd be Dumbfounded versus Tantrum, Dumbfounded versus Conceited. Then I would probably show them Roan versus Pat Stay, the compliment battle. I think those are the easiest things to kind of understand what's going on in battle rap. And then I would get into more of like, oh, here's the street demographic. That's what this is about. Because I think a lot of people, when they tune into that, they're like, oh, they're just talking about how they'll shoot the other guy. This isn't fucking like, PC or whatever. They don't like appreciate the actual art form behind it. So yeah, I would show somebody that. But those are definitely like not my like favorite battles. I think some of my favorite battles are like super guilty pleasures. Like my favorite battle to watch is Murder Mook versus Young Hot. Because Mook fucking destroys Young Hot. I love everything about Mook's performance in that. I'm a huge Mook fan too, by the way. I think Mook is going to beat Verb this weekend.
You heard it here first, folks.
I think I'm not alone in that. I think I talked with Mickey Fax about it. Mickey Fax said that he thinks Mook is going to win too.
I mean, I have to agree with you. I mean, I just think that he chose Verb because Verb has probably the worst New York record out of anybody who goes to New York. You know what I'm saying? Every time he's battling in New York against someone from New York, especially against Harlem, like Clips, Rex, Shine, he gets bodied by all of them. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, I felt like it's an easy win for Mook in a way. Unless Verb comes something crazy, and unless Mook doesn't meet expectations.
The thing too, though, is that Verb has had like the most god moments out of any battle rapper. Period. He had the Hey Big Gerald, which is like probably the most epic moment in battle rap. Period. The most. Everything about that is like perfect how he executed that. I wish he would have ended his round there because it would have been like, fuck, that's a perfect goddamn round. And then he has the Guardian Angels line and the Beam Me Up line.
Extensions needed. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite version.
But the thing is, he's like, in the past couple battles, he's like missing something. He's missing, like, I don't even know it because I'm like, oh, he's not loud enough. He's not aggressive enough. But he's gotten aggressive in plenty of battles. He was aggressive against Thesaurus. He's aggressive, I think, against a couple of people on RBE. But he's still like, I'm just like, it's not like there, Even when he battled Twerk, I was like, his writing was crazy in it. But I'm just like, the performance is like, kind of just like leaves a little bit to be desired. And there's not that like, I don't want to say it's hunger, but it's like there's just something not there. And I think that's something that Mook will always have, and I think that will probably trump Verb's performance. No pun intended.
So I've seen battle rap. I've seen a lot of different mainstream outlets try and like take some of the things that battle rap does and do something with it. You've seen, I think it was like CBS where you have Drop the Mic. They get celebrities do it. They got Wildin' Out, of course, with Hitman. And they actually get real battle rappers, Hitman and Conceited and Clips. Do you think that battle rap in the form that it's in could cross over to the mainstream? Do you think that we could get like some kind of mainstream recognition in the way that it is, 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds, that kind of thing, the street aspect of it? Do you think that could eventually cross over?
It could happen. It already has. It has happened. Like Hollow and Joe Budden was on Comcast. It was on like a legit pay-per-view. Like you buy it on fucking TV. But the thing is, I don't think it's necessary for the culture, and I don't think it is something that everybody needs to love. It's like things like sports, fighting, everybody can get into it because everybody wants, everybody can understand a fight. You know, everybody can understand a sport, points, winning. It's like very like black and white. You got knocked out, you lose. Oh, you scored, you win. You know, battle rap is super subjective, like insanely subjective, and it's also like very niche based, and you have to have a concept of hip hop a little bit, you know. So I don't think it really needs to get there. I think if anything, like what Smack is doing, what King of the Dot is doing, what everybody else is doing is fucking 1,000% what we should be doing. I mean, for God's sakes, like fucking Floyd Mayweather was at SM7, you know. It's like the biggest athlete in the fucking, like in the highest paid athlete in history was at a fucking battle event, you know. It's like you have every athlete watching this shit. You have Drake, the fucking biggest hip hop artist in the world, fucking Instagramming twerk versus Verb. He sponsors he fucking threw a goddamn event with King of the Dot. He was there for every single battle too. I was right below him, and his head was poking out from the fucking like opera like window he was in. I don't think it needs that mainstream thing, and I think if anything, it might, like, you know, of course, like stain the product a little bit, just because it's like to get it to the masses, you would have to kind of like cut corners certain ways, and it would like devaluate the authenticity, I think, in some way, shape, or form. So I don't think it really needs to get there. I think it can, of course, it can. And I definitely think the audience is there, but I don't really want to see it do that. You know, I want to see battle rap keep doing what it's doing, and I think it's on a good path right now.
So you were recently just telling me about, you know, what you plan on doing with Ruin Your Day.
Yeah.
But what I want to know about is, when are we going to get a Ruin Your Day event? I've heard, you know, that's kind of been going around in the Facebook group a little bit. That's something that people are asking for. That you know, people are asking, what would we have if it was a Ruin? What battles would we have? You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. That's kind of being thrown around. So is there a possibility of that happening?
Yeah, there is definitely. I'm being very careful about it, just because at the end of the day, Ruin Your Day is completely, you know, invested through my pocket, and I'm still always teetering on the edge of being broke all the time by putting all my money into battle rap. So I'm definitely not trying to like just throw a big event to compete with RB and Smack and King of the Dot. I don't want to do that at all. If anything, my idea was to have a small, I don't know if I want to call it an event. I want a small battle that's free. That's free to anybody that wants to come in Los Angeles. It's free to stream too. You can watch it, and then it's paid for by donations. People that are watching it, if you like this, donate like however much you want. It could be a dollar all the way up to whatever you can afford, and that's how it'd be paid for. And I wanted to have it kind of be smaller cats that, like, because I feel like a lot of people nowadays are being ignored, like the West Coast. Ever since I stopped doing the bunker, there's a lot of cats out here that just, they kind of don't have a home. They're like not being booked a lot. And like, for example, look how much Geechee took off, you know, like, and I knew that fool had star power from ever since like my little focus group of like Rory, Chris, Patrick, and Sean, who I talk to every day, like some of my best friends. Like, they put me on to like the spot, Geechee, Ron Compton, Yak the Rippa, Saint, and that's why I booked them at that event, at the bunker event. And like, there's so many more people like that in LA that have that star power, that they just need that look. They just need eyes on them. Like, even I kind of thought Geechee actually took too long for people to clue into how good he was, because it was like that battle that you were there for Glueezy. I was like, this is like battle of the fucking year, man. This battle is fucking amazing on both sides. Both of those guys killed it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of like maybe do that, like kind of give lesser known people a little bit more of a shine. I want to do fun battles too at the same time. I don't want to take it too serious, and I don't want to book people that are going to cost an arm and a leg too. So yeah, you'll probably see a Ruin Your Day event pretty soon. I also want to do roasts of battle rappers. I think the first one that's gonna be roasted is me. I think I'm gonna do a roast for myself, which is kind of like self-absorbed, but at the same time, I just think it's the easiest one to do. I'm like, yeah, you can fucking make fun of me. I will not take it personally. I'm probably gonna do that on November 13th, which is my birthday. So when I turn 34, I'm gonna have like a bunch of people come out and roast. I want Thesaurus, Ilmac, Lush, all the people that are pretty close to me, know me good, to like roast me, and I want to have it like look like a legit show. I want to get like a nice venue, like dress it up like Comedy Central and shit.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. So there's more plans for like different sort of content in RYD. So I'm excited for the future.
You've had a lot of singles make their debut on Ruin Your Day, a lot of music videos. What's the chance of a Ruin Your Day album coming out too? I mean, you got guys like Ilmac and guys like Geechee who put their music on here. I mean, what's the chances of that kind of thing happening too?
Well, that's happening actually pretty soon, and it's kind of my fault because it's like my friend Patrick has been the liaison and the head creative behind that. We're releasing a Ruin Your Day mixtape pretty soon, and we have 12 tracks. It's like I don't want to say who's on it, but they're really fucking good, and I'm gonna film a couple music videos for it, and we're gonna start putting out mixtapes pretty often. It's called Ruin Your Day Radio. So yeah, I just want to put out like a ton of mixtapes, like, because yeah, we do a ton of music videos, and I still love doing music videos because all these people are talented musicians. Like even like Geechee, he has hella good music, and people like never knew that he also was a great rapper until like that I always forget what the fucking actual song is called that I just did, because I always call it Geechee's Weekend or Weekend at Geechee's, but it's something like Say No More or something like that. But that song came out, and that song did hella good, and it's out on Bail Freestyle too that we put on the channel, did hella good too. So yeah, I definitely want to do more like albums like that, but we're not gonna sell them, they're gonna be for free. So it's just all about promoting the artist at the end of the day. So yeah, that's in the tank. Oh, and Frack's okay. Frack, I'll say you're on the fucking mixtape. Frack and Pass have a song that I'm gonna film a music video for. That's gonna be the first music video that drops.
There's actually a lot more good battle rappers who make music at the same time. Like, they make actually really good music.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a chance of a battle rapper actually making it, like, really crossing over? Like we were talking about, battle rap crossing mainstream. But what about a battle rapper's music crossing into?
I think Surf is gonna cross over really soon. I think Surf is legit. I think he already crossed over, man. Like when he got shot, horrible that he went through that. But like I remember the Source tweet, like making a fucking like thing about it. Everybody was going crazy about it. And I'm like, damn, Surf is like legit fucking famous, man. He's like the man. So I think Surf has already done that. Hitman has done that. Conceited is a fucking goddamn, like, not for his music, but he's a goddamn fucking meme. Like that fool's a fucking meme.
That's crazy. Yeah. I promise you, there's a million people who use that on a regular basis.
Yeah,
have
and no idea.
Who
Yeah, exactly.
it.
I remember seeing that for the first time and being like, what the fuck? And like people that like aren't battle rappers on my Twitter feed being like tweeting that, I was like, holy shit. I think Geechee has a lot of potential too to cross over. Yeah, there's tons of people like that have like high potentials of being actual musicians and breaking out. We back. Yeah, sorry, the stream went off for a little bit. Apologies in that. It's my bad. But yeah, we're back with some more questions.
All right, let's see where I left off at. Let's see. So, you've seen a lot of battle rappers come, a lot of battle rappers go. What does it really take to stay in the culture, to be one of those names that people are talking about for the next 5-10 years?
Damn, a lot, man. There's very few people that like have stayed relevant throughout all the fucking tides and change in battle rap. A couple of those people, Thesaurus has. I feel like he's one of the people that have stayed relevant for the longest. T-Rex has also, although T-Rex nowadays you can tell he's not completely motivated, which is sad because he's like one of my favorites. You just gotta fucking have a crazy work ethic. Like DNA is also one of those people that always shows up. Can't count him out. He battles a lot too, and that's the thing, is like people that battle a lot and show up at like a high level, that's like insane. So I think it's like you just gotta work hard as living fuck, and also like adapt to the changes, man, because battle rap moves in the tides. People are like, oh, associated wordplay is big in at this time, and like we only like shit like that. Oh, performance is big at this time. Oh, schemes is big. So you got to kind of incorporate what's hot at the time a little bit. But yeah, you just got to like evolve essentially. Like you look at Ilmac's battles nowadays to his grind time battles, it's like there's a fucking massive change in between there, and it's because he's as evolved as a writer, as a performer, as a rapper, and that probably comes a lot with like living life too, as you mature and get older, you evolve as a person as well. So yeah, it takes a lot of work.
So 2018, who's the best battle rapper right now? As in, who's 2018 has been absolutely crazy? Who's like at the top of their game right now, at the top of the culture, 2018?
It changed now. It changed after Summer Madness 7. I would have said Twerk, But the two people that I think have been consistent and putting in like the best foot forward, there's two people. I mean, there's plenty more people. The two people that come to my mind like immediately are Iron Solomon and Geechee. Those two people I think have been at the top. They've won every single battle. I think Geechee is arguably, don't fucking crucify me for saying this, arguably undefeated on URL. And Iron is the same way, which is pretty fucking insane. So I think those two people I think are running for champion of the year. Amongst other people, I think you can make arguments for a lot of other people, but I think those two people have battled the most consistent and have won the most amount of times.
So there's a lot of talk right now about what region is the best for battle rap. You know, is Jersey running battle rap? You wouldn't know after, Summer Madness 7, but is Jersey the best? Is New York the best? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But the West Coast has an argument for that title. Do you think the West Coast right now has
I'm
the
biased
best
though,
battle
dog.
rappers?
I'm so biased. Because I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Of course I think the West
Right,
is the
right.
best. I've always been one to put on the West Coast. Like if you watch any and all URL streams, I always sneak B-Dot's music video, the Dear West music video in there. I always sneak the Out on Bail freestyle in there, and now the How It Goes music video. I'm always a big proponent of the West Coast because I live out here and these guys are my homies. So I'm biased. I also thought Pass beat Moneybags. I know a lot of people don't think that, but yeah, I'm fucking hella biased. So I definitely think the West Coast has the best talent pool and the most diverse talent pool, in my opinion. That's not to say other regions don't have fucking insanely good people. If you look at St. Louis has an incredible talent pool of top dogs: Verb, Hitman, Young Ill, Remy D. I still think Remy D is from there because that's where he's from. And then fucking obviously fucking Jersey is insane. Fucking Red, Surf, Arsenal, Twerk, Suge, like that talent pool is fucking crazy. And then you got fucking New York, like the fucking epicenter of hip hop. So yeah, there's a lot of like hard hitting areas of battle rap that you could call the best, but my personal favorite is the West Coast.
Now, my last question: outside of battle rap, outside of making movies, outside of Ruin Your Day, what gives you the most joy? What gives you the most happiness? There's got to be something outside of everything you're doing that you can do to relax, you can do to have fun, something out there.
This, smoking a cigar, which I guess is just a vice, so that's a cop-out. That's like saying drinking a beer. Yeah, smoking a cigar, working out. I'm sounding like such a douchebag right now, but yeah, lifting weights I'm super into, exercising really gets my mind clear, and yeah, smoking. I guess there's like I have like no other like real hobbies outside of like film and the channel. Walking, actually, I've discovered my love for walking.
Going from place to place, going from point A to point B.
It sounds so stupid, but honestly,
right.
like I got the idea
Yeah.
for a weekend at Geechee's or How It Goes from like I like went to a restaurant with my coworkers that I hadn't seen in hell long, and I'm like, I'm just gonna walk home. It's like 4 miles away from here, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll just like have a meal and like get all fucking disgusting, and then I'll walk it off. And I like had so much brainstorming during that I'm like, man, I need to do this more often. Like walk around LA at night fucking feels like dangerous, kind of. It's like hella fun. I say that I'm gonna get like shot and robbed next week. so you know, pour some liquor out for the homie.
Man. Oh man. Yeah, man. But if there's anything else you want to say, man, yeah.
Not really, man. Like subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Riot Network. Shout out Ethan for coming out here. I really appreciate it. Yeah, be on the lookout for everything we got coming up. Also be on the lookout for Decade King of the Dot event that's going to be happening this year. And also be on the lookout for URL fucking destroying everything in their goddamn path for all the events they're doing. This weekend, I'm going to be out in New York City filming Rare Breeds, Murder Mook versus A-Verb, Iron Solomon versus Big K, King Los versus Head Ice, Swave Seva versus B-Dot, and I know I'm forgetting one other top match that I'm going to fucking hate myself for not remembering, but that card is
Danny Myers versus
Pat Stay, Ill Will versus Big T, and I think that's all of them besides the smaller one, which I forgot what that guy's name is. It's something Harlem.
Spanish Harlem.
Spanish Harlem versus Top 10. I'm not familiar with either of those guys, but I just did all the pay-per-view graphics today, so I was like, oh, these are two names I haven't heard. So, and there's a surprise battle too. What do you think it is? I think it's Daylight. I think Daylight's going to be on the card, man.
You think so? You
I
really think so?
I mean, hardcore ass troll. They all pulled a fast one on us, man. RB, fucking ARP.
I don't know about all that.
You don't think so?
I mean, that'd be pretty crazy. I like the original matchup Daylight had. You know what I'm saying? I like that matchup. That was a great matchup. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I mean, that'd be pretty crazy. Don't get me wrong. I hear a lot of people saying Jay Mills. That's what people
what
are like.
What the
fuck? People are
fuck?
You know, it'd be crazy.
You called me crazy
because they're like, no. Like I said, I don't really care. But I mean, like they said, like Mook's gonna be on the card. They got King Los. Oh, what if they got enough money to get Jay Mills?
Yeah. That's the thing that
that's
always,
what people are saying. That's
I
what I've
find
heard
that
some
so
people
funny,
say.
man.
But
When
that's
people
pretty weird.
People book these like Omega cards that like cost obviously a shit ton of fucking money
right.
to do, and they're like, they have this much money, they probably have that much money more too to spend on like Jay Mills. I remember like I thought when I heard that Mook was on the card, I also heard that Lux was on the card too. It was going to be Mook versus Verb, Lux versus Daylight. And then when that didn't get announced, I was like, oh, why was I even thinking that was the case? Like, I know
that
how
would have been crazy.
I know how much they cost, and it
how
would
much
be
did King
insane.
Los cost? Like, could they have gotten like Lux to do Daylight?
I don't think so. I think Lux is the most expensive battle rapper, period. I think Hitman and Lux are the most expensive battle rappers, man. And it's justifiable.
As far as the surprise goes, is Adi Boom like out? Is he free? I mean, like I know that like he's like somebody who ARP and RB fucks with heavily. So I mean, like I don't know if
that's possible. I don't know his situation. To be honest, I didn't really even know he was locked.
Right. He was. Yeah. It's like last couple of years. Yeah.
Fuck. That sucks.
So like I know that like I heard he was supposed to be getting out or something like that. But I mean like
that.
But if he is like I heard that like that might be.
That would be
surprise.
crazy. That would be crazy to bring somebody back like that.
Yeah.
That would be fucking fire. Hell yeah. That'd be amazing. Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. I'm still kind of on the Daylight wavelength. Like, I think it's Daylight. It's going to be the surprise, but I don't think it's going to be, like, revealed in, like, a fucking insane way. Like, he's going to come out dressed as somebody else and, like, take off, like, a mask and be like, it was me all along. I would have got rid of it.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. You know what? If it happens, I'll buy you a beer. I'll buy you a beer.
That I'm not going to drink, I'll just give back to you.
I'll buy you a cigar then next.
Yes!
Because, like,
that
is a crazy, like, if that's the case, like, that'd be something
Let's
crazy.
fucking go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, do you have anything else you want to say? You want to talk to the people a little bit? I know a lot of people aren't, like, 100% familiar with you in here, so if you want to,
Right. I mean, if you want to ask me any questions, if you got anything for me.
Okay, yeah, we already discussed this off channel, but I thought this
Right.
was hella interesting. Your first battle that you ever saw.
First battle I ever saw, actually, I didn't get into battle rap until I was, like, later in life. I mean, I'm 22 right now. I'm a young motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I didn't get into battle rap until I was 17. And so a buddy of mine in high school showed me. He's just like, hey, like I'm like, check out this battle and shit like that. Now back then, I didn't think like battle rap still happened. Like maybe like on the street level, dudes would go around and like battle each other on the street.
Off camera and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like I thought that was I thought that happened, but I didn't know battle rap was as big as it was. Even back then, battle rap was huge.
Yeah.
So. He shows me what I had no idea was, to me, now it's the greatest battle of all time, but it's Arsenal versus Shoddy Horror. Greatest battle of all time. One of the highest viewed battles. That was back when it was a little 2 million view battle.
It used to be the highest viewed English-speaking battle, and
now it's what, Oxy and
Diz. But actually, no, you know what I heard? Sorry to interrupt your story, but I heard that A Hat has the highest viewed battle, English-speaking battle. It's that 16-year-old girl battles.
Wait, is it that... Young Pop versus Lil Sexy. That's not it. That's not.
No, I heard.
No way. That's like 2 million views or something like that. That's not that.
All right, we'll
now
settle this right fucking now. All right, it's called like Lil Sexy.
Yeah, Lil Sexy. That's definitely
VDS. Okay, I knew something else was gonna pop. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it's not that bad.
That's what I'm saying. Is that like like that's.
All right, Clayton, you fucking lied to me, Clayton.
That's crazy. Like for A Hat to do that kind of.
Let's see what Diz versus Oxy's at. 11 million views. Holy
I know for a
shit.
fact that I'm pretty sure that Arsenal versus Shoddy is higher than that.
No, it's not. It's at. I think it's at 9.
Is it?
Okay, so it's 11.
Okay.
So. Oh shit! Look at you! God damn! I didn't even know this.
Click on it. It'll give you the exact number.
All right. So Arsenal versus Shoddy Horror is at 11,170. Oh
shit!
Diz and Oxy beats it by 600,000.
Okay.
I love how Diz and Oxy is also subtitled in fucking English, obviously.
What an insane battle. You know what I'm saying? That was a crazy battle. No one knew what to expect out of that. And when they announced it, we're like, oh, like King of the Dot just like they just did something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that had to have been like one of the best battles of that year and probably one of the greatest battles of all time. Maybe not just from a content perspective, but also from crossing the bridge of bringing the dude who's the biggest dude in Europe, the biggest dude in Russia, to battle our guy. You know what I'm saying?
That crowd was insane.
Right.
Were you there?
I was not there.
Oh man,
I wish I went.
It was all Russians.
That was the only. That was like, yeah. I wish I went. I went to Traffic. Like I was there for that event, but like somehow I didn't.
Traffic 3.
Yeah.
Word.
You know what? The World Dom. What was that? World Dom 6, 7. So that sold out like in a day. Like I remember thinking, I'm gonna buy that. Like, when I get a chance, I'm gonna buy. Sold the fuck out.
Damn.
Because
tickets
were like $25. That's the thing is that like it was dirt cheap. I spent 3 times more for a smack for Traffic.
Yeah.
So that was crazy.
How do you feel when you're like in a city and there's a battle event happening in that city and you don't go to it? Because I've never experienced it because I like work it, I'll like be there and filming it, but I've never been like, oh man, I really want to be seeing this battle, but I'm not there. And I don't think
that's a hard thing to deal with because that's exactly how I felt for that one. You know what I'm saying? And like when there was Traffic 1, like that was when I was like, I had to have been like 19 or something like that at the time. And
Could you not go?
Do I want? No, not like that. It's just, that honestly, like I probably wouldn't have been able to buy a ticket because I wasn't 21. But still, like even going to my first URL event, first URL event I ever went to was Survivor Series LA, and even then I'm kind of like
the one with Louise.
With Louise and Geach. So like I'm kind of like, do I want to go to this? You know what I'm saying? Like you know, it was different. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from Southern Cali. I'm from the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? Like going to see like Geach, like this is a completely different scene for me. Yeah. But it turned out I fit right in perfectly because like I'm for the culture and like other people who other battlers and league owners and media outlets that I've interfaced with, they all fuck with me.
Yeah. So, I also think the stigma of like URL's demographic is like hella misrepresented.
No, that's totally
where
true.
It's like, honestly, I feel like better in the URL crowd than I do in any other crowd. I feel like less people are there to get super fucked up and fight. Right. They're just there all to see
that's the
battles.
thing. I've never been to a King of the Dot event, so I can't like comment on their crowd. Yeah. But whenever I'm at a PG event, like it's funny because it's the same like 50 people who would go to a RYD event. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's that same kind of, you see the same people at all these events. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little family.
Yeah, and they all want to watch battles and they're like all reacting. They'll like, look at you even if they don't know you. Be like, that was crazy. And you're like, yeah, that was nuts. And then you like have this common bond with all these people that you don't really probably share a lot with, like a similarity in your lifestyle, but it's like you create this like friendship all with watching this performance, It's hella tight. So Shoddy versus Arsenal was the first battle you saw.
So my buddy, and like I said, my buddy showed it to me, and he was really into the English, like he was into the English leagues, he was into the European battle rap scene.
Was he British? Why was he?
He was. He was just a dude from around here. You know what I'm saying? He's just a Southern Cali dude.
Yeah,
like
I'm a huge fan of Don't Flop too, so I fuck with that.
And that's what I like. Honestly, that's what I thought. Like, oh, battle rap exists out there. Like that's the only place it exists. You know what I'm saying? So like, what was the next battle? Next battle I had to assume must have been was Shoddy versus Math. You know what I'm saying? That's like the next battle I saw, and then I'm like, oh shit, there's this dude Math who's like
that was
fucking
unfortunate.
people up. Yeah,
that was probably not a good introduction to Math.
You know what? It wasn't. But like when you like a couple years later watching it, and I'm like, wow, oh shit, like him disrespecting Shoddy and not even rapping in that choosing not to rap in that second, like that was disrespectful as fuck. And like how he explained it in the third round, like super disrespectful. But yeah, like I eventually followed him and like, oh, like Arsenal and Math battle. Hey, like I like Arsenal from that last battle, so I'll watch them both. Yeah. Fire battle. Yeah. Then I watch Ars versus Disaster, Ars versus Pat Stay, and I'm like, oh shit, like Arsenal's one of my like top 5 favorites of all time. Top 5 to me in like, he's on Mount Rushmore. He's in the top 5 of all time.
Okay, what is your Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore. I'd rather give you a top 5. I don't have a 4. It's more like 5. It's more like 5.
It's like you have to like stick to your guns with the Mount Rushmore. Yeah. You're like, oh fuck, I have to defend this.
Right,
you know?
right.
Okay, top 5 right now.
Top 5. Arsenal, Clips, and I know like a lot of people, Clips, like like a dude who like doesn't have third rounds and things like that. But the thing is that like that's in the big moments he's shown up. He's got some of the biggest battles of all time. Oh, yeah, and so it's like name a dude who's battled Loaded Lux and Hollow, and name a dude who's battled both them in the same year. That's why to me it's like that's like one of the goats.
Arsenal did, and he beat both of them.
In the same year? Oh, it wasn't.
Oh wait, no. I'm thinking of Iron. Sorry, forgive me.
Ars is the only other dude to battle like Hollow and Lux, and then also
Yeah.
Iron. So like I'm
Yeah,
just
but
like, oh
I
shit,
agree
like
with you about Klitz, man. A lot
Yeah.
of people hate on Klitz, but he's like one of those people that is like so fucking charismatic, and like when you see him battle in person, you're like, okay, I get this. Like you're like even on a stuff that like later when you watch it back, you're like, oh wow, that wasn't that cool. But like in person, you're like, fuck, he's the greatest battle rapper of all time. This is amazing. He's dope. So
Yeah, pretty
Clips,
much.
Arsenal.
Yeah, Ars for me, like it wasn't just not just because he was the first battle rapper. I mean, that's like I got sentimental reasons, but
Yeah,
also
for
like
real.
when you look at the numbers, like highest
Oh,
viewed
yeah,
battle rapper for
yeah,
a long time.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just a completely prolific dude. If he's not the Jordan of battle rap, then he's Kobe, pretty much. As far as like how prolific he's been,
Yeah.
millions of views, things
And
like
also
that.
the things he's done for battle rap too.
Yeah.
UW,
On
like,
the strength of his own name, was able to start his own league and
Yep.
have some of the craziest battles. Still having some of the craziest battles in the
booked
culture.
Hollow and Lux. That's great. And that
Pretty
that
much.
card he booked them on, that whole card is fucking incredible.
Right.
Every battle on that card is amazing. So Arson, Clips, who else?
I gotta have Rock up there because
okay.
well, first hold on, I'll segue into I gotta skip that one first because I gotta say that Rex is up there for me.
Oh, damn,
Rex.
you got a cool top 5. I like this.
Rex to me like has held the culture down in a way that Mook never did. Mook isn't really
Yeah.
in my top
Word,
isn't
word,
in
word,
my
word.
top 5 like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I don't. It's probably because I didn't come from that era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
actually like I didn't get into that era until a little later. Even when I started watching battle rap, I didn't get into that era until a little later.
Yeah.
And I didn't really mess with. I don't really care for Mook like that because when the culture really needed him, he priced himself out of battle rap.
Word.
And so he went and battled, he battled to Iron, you know what I'm saying? Like, battle in a way, wasn't a crazy battle. I saw that battle, wasn't crazy, wasn't all that
Have you
impressed.
watched it all the way through?
And I'm just kind of like, probably. I've probably watched it all the way
You think
through.
so?
I
Damn,
watched it all the way
That's
through.
crazy. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've watched bits
probably-
and pieces. It's
But
so
either way,
long,
like,
dog. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
fucking an hour long.
It's like an hour long. But still, like, I wasn't that impressed. Wasn't impressed versus Lux when he battled him at Total Slot. So I'm
Yeah.
like, this dude who like prices himself out of the he like as far as I'm concerned, I thought that he did it on purpose so that he doesn't have to battle. His spot as Jordan is never jeopardized at all because he doesn't have to battle because I'm quote unquote I'm too expensive for this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Word,
worth
word.
60 grand or whatever
Yeah,
it is. And
yeah,
knowing that leagues can't pay him for that, which means he
Yeah.
can't battle, which means
Yeah.
that he can't lose his spot. So that's
Yeah.
the way it is. So I'm like working on like I want to write an article right now, a little opinion article about why Mook needs to like get 30'd at this next event. Why Averb needs to completely
You gonna
30
put that
him.
out
I
before
want
the event?
Yes.
Damn.
Hopefully I can get
okay,
that out
say
like
that,
this week.
Say that right now, and I'll put this on the stream. So tell me your reasons why now. Why Mook needs
Why
to get
do
30?
I think because for battle rap to grow, you need to like get it out with the old, in with the new, pretty much. Like to get new growth, you have to clip the old. You know, that's
Okay.
kind of the way it is. And like you have a log jam of talent, pretty much. That's kind of what's happening in battle rap.
Yeah.
New dudes can't come up because the top tiers right now don't want to battle them because the elite dudes don't want to battle them either.
Yeah.
That's kind of, it all starts with Mook, where
Yeah.
there's no revolving. It's not a revolving door at the top anymore because the top dude doesn't want to give up that spot. And so I think for the like, there's been dudes I can name 10 dudes probably who've held the culture down, who at one point held it down and were that dude to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can name 10 dudes like that, and
mean, just
not
name
include
4.
Mook. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, like I said, Rex is that dude who held the culture down for the longest after
Very
Summer
few.
Madness 2, up
Yeah.
until Summer Madness 5 when he got 30 by Clips.
Yeah, you
That
know the
was it.
story behind that though, right? About why he got 30'd?
Lost his nephew, right?
Yeah, like that day.
Right,
or that
yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Which is
Is
nuts
what
that
it
he
is.
still showed up in
Right,
battle.
right, right.
That's fucking, I give like hats off to him. on
Right,
that,
pretty much.
You know?
Yeah.
And there's a
And-
lot of things in that battle too that I'm like, fuck, man, I don't really know. Like, there's like a lot of things working against him. Like his mic didn't
Right,
work,
right,
so he
right.
just fucking used a handheld
Yeah,
mic.
yeah.
And then,
No, I mean, like, it is, that battle kind of is what it is. He hasn't been able to, like, recapture that old Rex, that hat to the old Rex, you know what I'm saying? But, like, either way,
I
like,
think he won the first round against RYD.
I think so too. That was a crazy battle. That, like, I was really happy to see like that Rex come back again. A little bit of that at least come back. But I mean, as far as that Rex could like, he can do wrong in my eyes, but like I'll still hold him as like one of the top dudes in battle rap for
Word.
having held it down the longest.
Hell
And
yes.
arguably being better in the same era as Mook. Pretty much, you can even say that he's even better than he is. So that segues into
let's
Rock.
go.
That's
Okay.
that segues into Tay Rock because after Rex,
Yeah.
Rock is now the new dude who's the
Been
GOAT
at the
right
top forever. Yeah, for real. He was the guy to beat. He's like the last boss of URL. He's they're pretty much their poster boy. Do you think he won against Hitman?
Probably not. Probably not. I mean, like at the same time, like he's been doing this like for years. He's not only he's been doing this since he was like 16.
Yeah.
He's been at the top of his game like all like these last couple years. And like if he loses to Goods or Hitman, whatever, like
because they're like some
either
of the best
way,
too,
like you mean to expect like he's losing. Yeah, exactly. It's an elite dude. It's not like somebody underneath him took his spot. Like those are other elite dudes that he battled.
Yep.
So even if he lost, I'm okay with that. But still, like he's a dude who, like I said, held the culture down. He solidified his legacy. Battled with Hollow, like he can battle Mook, and still it wouldn't change anything for me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of where he is.
Rock and Mook, holy fuck, that'd be crazy. That'd be really crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't surprise me that he's showing a little bit of like, I don't want to say wear and tear, but I mean, like he does look like maybe he's fading a little bit as far as like content and because the energy's still there. Yeah. The the effort is still. He's not going into battles half-assing battles. He's like out here performing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like that's 4. Now I gotta think of 5. Let's just go. That's my Mount Rushmore right there. That's 4. That's 4. But as far as like new dudes right now, like Geechee to me is like the top. Is the top battle rapper right now. I know what he's got for the rest of the year, and after this year, I'm pretty sure that he's going to be considered like a top 5 dude right now. I believe that to get into that next level of the roster, you have to beat the dudes at the next level.
Yeah.
So like he beat Suge to get into the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Because Suge's kind of the gatekeeper into that. You want to get into that, you got to beat somebody like Suge to get into that.
And then JC too.
Right, that too.
Yeah.
And so guys like Rum Nitty, Sue Surf, Rock, that's at the elite level. You know what I'm saying? T-Top, Briz, Rothstein, Clips. Guys like that are at the very elite level. And you got to beat one of them to get into that elite level.
Yeah, word.
So I'm looking forward to him to take that jump and hopefully get into that elite level by like next year.
Do you think he's who do you think got champion of the year?
Three-peat. What do you mean?
Word.
Like there's not really any, especially considering that other people have faded badly. Like Twerk was still in contention up to this point. Yeah. I mean, I would consider the battle like not that anything disqualifies you, but like the big blemish that he had on his resume this year was the battle with Wavy, coming not motivated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Kind of.
Then he bounced back with Verb, and nobody gave a fuck.
Exactly.
About it,
that Suge was a crazy battle at Gnome 8. You know what I'm saying? Like. Yeah. So it's like, hey, like if he had if he would have 30 DNA instead of the way it went, had it actually been a crazy battle, it would have looked pretty good still.
Yeah.
But given the way that he's kind of like faded, I'd say that Geechee, at least on the URL, is the favorite. However, Loso is going to make an extremely strong argument for why he should be. I mean, he's been putting in a lot of work. I would also have said Math had it not been for this performance.
Okay, what about what are Loso's other like? Was Loso in B-Dot this year?
That was last year. That was the end of last year.
Okay, so what?
So what were some of the battles that he took this year? So he battled on the URL for the first time against Scotty. He battled against Daylight. He battled
T Moneybags.
He battled Moneybags. He also battled Clone on Bullpen.
Was that dope?
That was a dope performance from him. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen. I don't think that battle hasn't. I don't think that battle dropped yet.
Oh, okay. Word.
So I didn't see the pay-per-view, but from what I'm hearing is that like Loso like 30 Clone was still good, but Loso. But either way, like this is a dude who's not slacking at all. This is a dude who has
so
been
good
going.
At performing, dude.
Yeah,
he's
really.
so good at performing.
And this is a guy. He's gonna be. Now that I think about it, Loso isn't on that Rare Breeds card, but he might be the surprise battle. You never know.
Oh yeah.
Against somebody else who might be a surprise.
Damn,
now that I say it, hey, who knows?
That's a good point.
But yeah, Loso's been answering all the questions that I thought he needed to answer last year. But he came to the URL. He's been traveling to more leagues. He's been battling higher level competition, and so I think that he's got a perfect case for champion of the year.
Damn,
but I think the numbers are more behind Geechee, and the momentum is considering
and
that
he got 3. So it's
right, exactly 3 champion of the nights. You know what I'm saying? I know that champion of the night is something they only do for URL events, but still like. Loso would probably be winning champion of the night if they did it for any Rare Breed event.
Yeah.
Or any
real.
King of the Dot event. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how it is. He's killing like everything that you put in front of him, and like I think he needs to battle some crazy up and comer. Now that he's battling on the URL, technically he did his PG. Yeah. So I think they need to throw somebody. Yeah, they need to throw somebody big at him to make it a real test. But yeah, that's the only other person who's got like a flawless year apart from Geechee.
That's dope.
Pretty much. So
That's
that's
dope.
like, as far as new dudes right now, that's the people who's killing. I still fuck with Twerk. You know,
Yeah.
like Twerk still, like that first round he gave against DNA was crazy.
Yep.
I still fuck with him, but yeah, like, and then as far as like dudes, let's see. While I'm here, I might as well shout out some of the dudes who are up and coming in the PGs and dudes who I've seen.
Do it. There's probably people that I'm not aware of, so I would love that.
So dudes who've been on the PGs who are pretty crazy. Coffee Brown just had her first PG.
Oh, yeah.
She battled against Robin Rhymes.
I haven't seen that battle, but I like them both a lot.
I hope it comes out. Like, you never know with PGs these
Really?
days.
Why wouldn't it come
No,
out?
I mean, you never know. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
from these events, I've seen like crazy battles. You know
Not
what I'm saying?
drop.
But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
shit
yeah.
doesn't drop sometimes.
Yeah.
But like hopefully that does. You know,
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of interest around Coffee Brown. She's been
Yep.
battling around the country.
Yeah.
She's really doing her thing as far as an up and coming West Coast artist.
Yeah.
You got real name Brandon. I don't know if you know who that is. Or
I
if
mean,
you
I've
ever
seen
heard of
his
him.
name just
Right.
because it's funny.
Right.
He's dope?
So he's a great puncher, actually. Probably one of the best punchers we have out here on the West Coast. Real name Brandon is dope. He has a battle on. He actually has a URL drop versus a dude named Fix, who is also another great artist. Fix is dope. Jay the Nightwing. So Jay just had a battle drop versus Fix, also on the URL channel. And Jay probably brings something that I've never seen anyone bring
Is
as
it
far as
spelled
performance.
J-A-Y?
J-E-Y.
J-E-Y,
And then Jay the
okay.
Nightwing, as in like Nightwing, like what Robin turned into, like when he
Yeah,
grew up,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know. So, so he brings like a type of energy and performance that you don't see in anybody on the West Coast has, and that you don't see in battle rap in general. Like the closest I'd have to get to that is like the way that Twerk is unorthodox is kind of like how he is, but it's not the same kind of aggression. It's not. It's not like that energy and,
Yeah.
and bounce that Twerk has.
Yeah.
This dude is has that same kind of unorthodox that you don't know what he's gonna say next, but also like he has like a really interesting intensity and just really interesting battle rapper. Pretty dope. Let's see who else. I gotta shout out Ron Compton, of course. He's been doing his thing. Just battled Daylight. He's battled Danny Myers also. A 3-round battle with Danny Myers. That's on the Riot. So I gotta shout him out. But yeah, a lot of dudes coming up in the grassroots leagues.
Yeah,
a lot
definitely.
of dudes. You got the bro. Who was that? Next NXT. So he just battled Ron Compton at the PGs. Had another crazy battle.
Yeah.
And he's been putting in a lot of work. So, and that dude, you can profile him as like, yeah, he's very New Jersey Twerk-esque, where like he's got
Aggressive.
that really aggressive,
Yeah.
and yeah, so
Tight.
you got a lot of dudes coming up.
Hell yeah.
So those are some of my favorite new dudes who have yet to break through, but like they've all got that kind of potential to break through, and I hope they do. So,
Dope. Well, hell yeah, man. I want to thank you for coming out. I really
Yep.
appreciate the interview. If you guys are just tuning in, I saw a couple of people asking who Ethan is. He's a journalist. He works for the Riot Network. He's also a professional journalist as well. He came by to interview me for the Riot. We're probably going to release this on Ruiner Day as well. So check him out. Do you got social media you want to shout out?
yeah, so follow me on Twitter at takeachansky, take_a_Chansky. That's the same as my Instagram too, so check that out. I upload a lot, or I put up a lot of battle rap photos. I'm a photographer. I take a lot of photos at events. I've got a bunch of Summer Madness photos that I still have to go through. But check out some of my past posts, and you can see that I've got pictures from some of the last PGs and from Initiation also. Check out my website, www.barsandbattles.com, bars, A-N-D, battles.com, because people have been like, is it bars and battles?
Or
you know what I'm
the
saying?
asterisk or
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah.
fuck it is, yeah.
So barsandbattles.com, that's written content for battle rap. I write recaps, and it's not just, throwing, a bunch of battle rap jargon at you. I like to put the fans who weren't there in the perspective of if they were actually there. So I really write it like it's a Titanic battle, which they are, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it is when you're there and you see somebody's soul sent out the room. Like, that's what I like to capture.
Tight.
So that's what I like to do. The Riot Network, shout outs to everybody there. I'm their media director, so I've been doing a lot of work for them. Check out Plug Talk Radio. That's hosted by myself, Kevin Parks, who's the league owner of the Riot, and Geechee Gotti is on there regularly also. That's 3 right there, where you got a blogger, a league owner, and a battle rapper, a star battle rapper. So
Dope.
if you want to hear Geechee drop some game on some people once in a while, tune in. That's weeknights at 9 p.m. Like I said, Plug Talk Radio. But yeah, that's everything I got right now. Oh, and also, we got Bars and Battles magazine coming soon. Like I said, I've got Bars and Battles, the website, but we are having a print magazine coming soon, and that is going to be the West Coast issue. This interview, I'm gonna write an article on this, and a lot of other things. I got a lot of other interviews that I've done so far also. So It's going to be the best interviews and the best articles and the best photos that I've compiled all year. And like I said, it is the West Coast issue, so it is focusing primarily on West Coast battle rap.
Hell yeah.
So that, and then I hopefully can take it into the female issue, the ladies issue, highlight female battle rap. The media issue, do a story on Jay Black. I already talked to Jay Black at Summer Madness. He's interested in that story.
Cool.
Writing a story on Champion.
Hell yeah.
So that's just some of the things we got going on with Bars and Battles magazine. Hopefully that'll be either at the end of this year or at the start of next year.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get a rollout, something like that. But yeah, that's everything right now.
Dope. Hell yeah, Ethan. All right, guys. Signing off. Thank you guys for tuning in for this little talk. Doing a watch on Thursday, I think, with Geechee Gotti, hopefully Danny Myers. So that'd be dope. Or it'll be Geechee and Ilmac. But Geechee's definitely going to be on. He's going to talk about Champion of the Night, 3-peat, and his battle with Shotgun Suge. And go get the Rare Breed Entertainment pay-per-view. It's at rarebreedent.com. I will be directing it, so you know it's going to look fucking great. And yeah, guys, peace and love to everybody. Thank you for tuning in.